بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of the universe, and we send our salutations, greetings, and peace to our beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today. Insha'Allah ta'ala, today we will be going through the much awaited package preferences and discussion on what you are looking at in terms of the respective service providers, inshallah ta'ala, and just give you guidance on that, inshallah. Once again, warm welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining. I know some of you are going to be watching this online. We're going to keep it quick and fast today, and we appreciate every time you're joining. It does take up time, but all of this is to answer your questions and to make things easier for you, inshallah ta'ala. Just a bit of a reminder that all of this, all of these resources and efforts, and alhamdulillah, the information that is provided is for informational purposes, and inshallah ta'ala, we're here to guide and support and assist bi'idhnillahi tabarak wa ta'ala. And of course, as you all know, that we are not selling any packages, okay? And we are merely assisting, inshallah ta'ala. And the official way to book for Hajj from Western countries is, and the service countries is from Nusuk, as you all know. And our purpose, inshallah ta'ala, is bring to the platform, in front of you, to present to you our experience and our support and our guidance, inshallah ta'ala. So a warm welcome once again. This is the sort of contents of today in terms of discussion. First and foremost, before we delve into the package, we're going to spend 5 minutes just quickly discussing package priorities, how to decide what matters most for you. That's something that, a lot of you, mashallah, many of you have been querying and asking about distances of hotels, about flights, about journey plan, either to go to Mecca first or Medina first, and many other questions. And it is appreciated, it is understood. Of course, you've been given a lot of information, and it's perhaps for many of you the first time going to Hajj. And so sometimes when there's so much information, you'd want to ideally choose the best option for you. And we mentioned that previously, that you need to decide what matters, which part of or component matters most for you. That's the first thing. Secondly, we will be looking at the package preference confirmation, inshallah ta'ala, and which packages our guides will be assisting and supporting. Thirdly, some hotels where it's not unclear about their distances, perhaps that will be discussed, inshallah, and shown to you. And then what to do now and the next steps before the booking opens. You've received through the social media channels of X, of Nusuk Hajj, and also in your emails about the time for booking sales or purchase of packages coming up very soon. So inshallah ta'ala, before that, as expected, in the expected time of 10 days or 11 days we have, we need to prepare. With that, I would like to say, of course, we'll have our live Q&A, but with that, I'd like to remind everyone that ultimately, to go to Hajj is something that is now a privilege, and it is something that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala istafakum, He chose you. If it is meant to be, you will go, and if it is decreed to be for you to go, you shall go, inshallah. And a reminder to everyone here, including myself, that we should always have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and be God conscious, and be humble and in humility, we should feel that, yes, part of tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not to be in either of the extremes. The correct understanding, according to the Quran and the Sunnah, is that when we put our reliance in Allah, we don't fully put our reliance in Allah and say we're not going to do anything. And that's why you're learning about the packages, you're preparing, you've registered on Nusuk, and you're doing all of this preparation, taking time out. At the same time, don't feel in any way that, yeah, because you've made so much preparation and you've done everything and you've topped up your e-wallets, whatever, you've learnt about the packages, ultimately, without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's permission, no one can go, none of us. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our efforts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us and to accept our intentions. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So the first point is, I would like you to look at this slide and just perhaps take a screenshot if you can, and think very carefully about your booking and your plan to book, inshallah ta'ala. For a successful booking, you may have to, and probably most likely majority of the pilgrims will have to compromise and have at least 5 preferences still ready, 1 being in your cart and 4 in your basket, and 4 on the side, that in case one is run out due to first come, because the system here is that it's first come, first serve, it's first served. So if you're fortunate, and if it is decreed that you enter on time on the day, and you got in and you got your successful booking, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. But if it isn't, still alhamdulillah, you move to the next one and you work in a calm manner, and we'll talk about that in our more guidance that's coming up prior to the booking. But the first thing to sort of bring about, and to all of you, is especially for those who are new, who have joined recently and have not been watching the webinars or not been able to watch and keep up and catch up. Brothers and sisters, first and foremost, a reminder that the way that Hajj is booked is through the Hajj Nusuk, hajj.nusuk.sa. And this is an online platform whereby service providers from Saudi Arabia will be are sharing their packages or providing packages on the platform for you to compare and also choose. Ultimately, the most important thing to bear in mind is that the demand is extremely high. The demand for Hajj is extremely high and increasing every year. So there are many of you who actually tried to to book last year, who were not able, who are not successful. I want everyone to have in their mind that it is a possibility that you won't get the booking, but be positive, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one whom we put tawakkul in, and we have good thoughts and positive thoughts as a Muslim. And we remind ourselves that so long as we've done what we could, then inshallah ta'ala, leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and accept that decree. And in terms of numbers, just to give you an idea, obviously we're talking about, say, 50, 44, 48,000 pilgrims, up to about 60,000, let's just say, pilgrims on the Nusuk platform across those service countries. And with the UK, there's no set, there's a set quota, standard in previous years of 3,500, and that's it. But thereafter, there were more visa quota given accordingly. When those countries when unable to fulfill their quota, it was shared across the globe for any other countries. So it wasn't only UK, it was across the globe. Whatever was left was booked. Brothers and sisters, that means that it is imperative, it is really important that you're prepared well. Also, in hindsight, and just to sort of just to have in mind that there are many variables and many different things that you're going to be looking at, and ultimately finding the perfect package for you, my dear brother and sister, personally, may not be possible always. Okay, and so look, because across the market, across the what we call the sales platform, it's like the souk and a market. So when we say across, when you're comparing, you'll find that there are a large majority of the packages that are standard and premium, and the luxury is a number of luxury packages. For those, say, for example, coming from UK and USA and other countries, they would love to book a luxury package generally because that's what you book in your Umrah. And if that number is smaller, then the quota will still be remain, but the packages will remain for other packages, for other standard accommodations. But ultimately, if your intention is to perform Hajj, then you need to compromise. And there are a number of things that you may want to compromise, and some things you may not be able to compromise in. The first thing that you need to look at is, of course, you all know that there are group flights versus custom flights. So it's really important that group flights are basically flights that are attached to the packages from the respective country that you're traveling from. Not all packages has group flights, and to give you an idea, not all of the UK will be on group flights. Okay, so many people will be expected to book custom flights. So that's something to bear in mind. So if group flight is your most important reason for booking to secure your Hajj package, let's just say if those who are on the group flights, as mentioned in the previous webinars, is easier to check out and go to purchase package, as we shown earlier, then if that's your priority and you just want to secure the Hajj, then perhaps choose a group flight. However, not all of them, after the group flights even diminish, you will still have an option with the same package to book a custom flight. So therefore, it is imperative that you practice custom flights as well, even if you're selecting a group flight. So that's something to bear in mind. If you, for example, want to travel from your own city and your own gateway, I understand, for example, if you want to travel from Scotland or Manchester or somewhere, or Birmingham, then you may want to look at that from the custom flight. However, if it means that, well, I don't mind as long if I can get a local flight or come in a day before, but if I secure my Hajj and I'm going to travel from another city, then why not? Think you have to, perhaps I would like you to just have that in mind and think about those kind of options. Number two, hotels. Location versus standard versus price. So you got some people, many of you would like to be very close, and that's appreciated and understood. However, what we're seeing is that those that are close by, in terms of from what we have, so from our comparison and what we've gathered, is that the majority of the hotels that are nearby are 5-star, and the 5-star category numbers are less, so therefore there won't be that much availability in that sense. However, there are some that are 5-star or 4-star that are a little bit further away in terms of location. Okay, so if that's your main that's your there's no compromise for that, then that's fine. Then you go for that. So this is something to bear in mind. And of course, price for many is a big thing, especially us Brits. Price is important, so perhaps look at that as well. And we said before that there is a difference between shifting and non-shifting, and shifting packages mean you stay in two places in Mecca, okay, and you avoid staying in Masjid. You avoid staying near the Masjid al-Haram in the zone A in the super peak period, and then you stay in the somewhere in zone M, which is next to the Masha'ir, next to Jamarat, or other places in Mecca, zone C, etc., or zone B. Then come in near the Haram later on. So that's the aim of standard shifting packages in general, shifting packages, and that's the aim. So to give more value for money, but usually shifting packages are a little bit longer. That's something to bear in mind, 16 to 19 to 22 to even 32 days, some packages. If someone wants to stay a long time, then you get a good price. You might even get a price that's cheaper than a non-shifting package that is only 10 days, but 32 days, for example, or 28 days, for example, for the same price. So if it's in your mind that you want to stay for long and you can stay for long, no problem, then alhamdulillah, then you can stay in close to the haram in better hotels, and later on, when it's super peak, you move next to the Mina, Arafah, Muzdalifah, the Mashair, which is in Aziziyah. So there's so many things to consider, brothers and sisters. But ultimately, these things, you have to sometimes compromise in certain things. Also, cost per person, of course, that comes with the price of hotels, the overall cost. So if you add Mu'aisim, in general, all of the packages are by standard default Mu'aisim. The package price, base price, is without flights, but including the Mu'aisim, which is the general place where all of the pilgrims from Europe, America, Australia stay in Mina. Okay, there is an area called Majar al-Kabsh. This is a smaller area with only 5,000 spaces, and we'll talk about that in later on, inshallah ta'ala. But it will be at a higher cost. Okay, but majority of the pilgrims, 44,000, will stay in Mu'aisim. Room occupancy, that's something that will also affect the pricing. So if you get a double room, it will be much more than a quad room. So by standard, or a standard default, all the packages start with a room occupancy of quad, and then you can add accordingly where possible. If some packages do not mention or are not giving that option, then you would need to contact your service provider through the guides, and then see if you can get an upgrade. Perhaps that's something we can touch on later. Finally, if guidance and assistance, and if that's something that's important for you, of course, then of course look at packages that are guided by experienced guides, and that's something that you need to think about yourself. You need to do your research and find out. Ask people who've been to Hajj previously. Those kind of things you'd have to do. Because I'm a guide myself, it would be wrong for me to say look at guidance. But ultimately, we're going to Hajj, inshallah ta'ala, and we have been delivering and serving the pilgrims for pretty much most of our lives. Some of our senior staff members or guides. But one thing to bear in mind is that the system now is different in terms of how that is sort of the guidance is given, and because of the sort of issue of, or we could say the confirmation of a certain number of pilgrims, then only a guide can come. So there has to be a certain number of pilgrims for a guide to come. So accordingly, the Ministry of Hajj and also Nusuk and the service providers work together to arrange the guides according to the number of pilgrims booked. So in that particular language, and hence we had initially the flags of those countries on packages. But what that did, my dear brothers and sisters, is that for those brothers and sisters who are in other countries, who are not in Britain, USA, and the larger European country, Muslim sort of populations that are sort of ethnic minorities, but larger population of Muslims in those countries, those were getting more sort of presence on Nusuk. So that's why there's been changes in the aesthetics of the packages. And so again, without the flags, they're there, and there are custom flights for every single package on Nusuk. So to give opportunity from brothers and sisters from all the other service countries to join the Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. Finally, obviously, we said Mina location. We will talk about that later. And obviously, some packages will give extra gifts and extras and ziyarah in Makkah and Medina, or just in Medina. But ultimately, is that your deciding reason? And you decide over a package because of that? You need to think about that. So number one, I would say, is to your confirmation, just from, I think we all agree, is to confirm your package. That would be the number one priority. Number two should be perhaps guidance and price. Oh, and I missed out a big one, which is your dates. So your dates, flight dates should match your needs. Okay. Do understand that a lot of the group flights, I know people are asking the question about, oh, how comes it's within the dates and it's not maximizing the package? The package has been created for everyone from different countries. There will be flights. They will try and arrange flights to match from different countries. But sometimes, as you know, from UK, it is half term at that time, and the flights are extremely expensive, and perhaps the availability is not there. So they will get whatever that the airline uh, sort of offers them, and that's um, there's no control over that. They can control the hotels, but they cannot control the flights. So this is why you'll see a slight discrepancy, but it doesn't mean you've lost out and you've not made the most of it, because ultimately each country has their own situation, inshallah ta'ala. So this is really important. And I think as a family, you need to decide on these things, inshallah ta'ala. One thing to bear in mind as well is obviously there are so many people coming from all walks of life in this nusuk Hajj, and it's a new system, fairly new, and it's developing every year and it's improving every year. I can assure you, the tents in Mina, Arafat, the service, all of these things are improving and are really, in my opinion, very good quality and very good standard compared to the Hajj that I've performed in the past. So in general, whether you're in Mu'aysim or Majar al-Kabsh, it's very good, and comfortable, I would say. So the only thing is, when you are sort of traveling between and you have custom flights and group flights, and there's so much variation, and the whole point is to give more options to people. What may happen is that you could be a little bit sort of in a situation where you need some support. And in this case, obviously, what needs to be mentioned is that different guides have different sort of abilities and experience. And so what I can inshallah say is that we are experienced, and we are thankful to you and grateful to you that you have stayed with us so far. But again, it's very difficult to speak about oneself. It is important that you do your own diligence and find out about the guides, find out the services that they've given, perhaps go on Google, do those research yourself, or look at recommendations, ask about those guides and with us. And inshallah ta'ala, also to bear in mind, we have a team, and I will be overlooking the guidance of the Hajj in terms of the religious guidance across the board, but also there will be other mashayikh, and my father is our senior guide. May Allah protect and preserve him. All of the wisdom that we have, elders have much more wisdom than we have, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless him and preserve him. And he has performed Hajj over 38 or 39 times. So it is a privilege to, and I'm very fortunate to be under his tutelage and sort of learn from him. But there are others as well in our team. So without speaking much about them, I would like to just remind you all that inshallah ta'ala, in terms of support team in Mecca and Medina, all of this, this is something that is added and adds value to your Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. To have someone on hand to be able to communicate to and just say, look, I'm stuck with this or I'm stuck with that, or and someone can always assist you or be arranged to assist you, inshallah ta'ala. So this is something that must be mentioned, inshallah, especially for those who are new today. So without further ado, we move straight to the tables. Once again, I'd just like to remind everyone that, of course, these packages are that will be shared on tables will be shared to you from the service providers and not from us, from the service providers. We will be assisting those service providers packages, inshallah ta'ala, our team, and What you will do is it will be shared on the Telegram group as well. And today we'll go through some of the questions and we'll continue to answer questions post after sharing those uh, uh, documents, inshallah. So I'll pass it over to Muhtadi and thank you for listening. And inshallah ta'ala, I hope this session is practically the aim of it is now you want to finalize your package preference and with itmitnan and with contentment that look, I'm quite happy with this now. I've accepted that, okay, this I'm not going to be able to achieve this, but I'm going to get this. And you kind of put your priorities in place, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and then say, okay, in that case, I'm going to go for this package, and then I'm going to put another 4 in preference, okay? So that's really, really important. And so when you have all of it laid out for you, and it will have a link for you to go straight into the website and view that package, it will make it easier for you, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khairan. I'll pass it to Muhtadi, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Thank you once again for joining. Jazakallah mishkat for the introduction and your part. If you can kindly just share or let me share my screen, that will be very helpful, inshallah. Okay. So, all right, you can see my screen now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the team, mashallah, have
Zoom in
posted.
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my screen is quite big, so it might be a bit difficult. Okay, so the admin have posted these 3 tables into the announcement group. So inshallah, anyone who wants to access this will find this on the announcement on our Telegram channel, and you can follow through on the while I'm going through this now, if you want to watch it on your device. Now you will find that there are 3 tables. So we have 3 service providers for Hajj 2026, inshallah, and these are the UK recommended packages that have predominantly group flights or are good for the UK audience, and also some of them will have custom flights as well. The first one I want to go through tonight is the Abdul Latif Jamil, and we have selected, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packages here with many options for you. And we've literally coded them so you can click on the link. So if you were to click, for example, on Hajj Jamil 303, it should open up immediately to that particular page on Nusuk whilst you're logged in. So you need to log into Nusuk and then open this particular PDF and click on it, and automatically will say, would you like to open the link? You click on yes, and you'll come to that particular package on Nusuk, which will save you time from searching on the filter, and if you wanted to go between different service providers and so on throughout on the day. Now, I'll come back to the table so we can actually read some of the data and understand it. So on the left-hand side, you have the name of the package. So this will be the exact name as it's called on Nusuk. So Hajj Jamil 303. It has a package capacity. We felt this was quite important to give you guys transparency and to make it easier to understand what sort of space allocation or availability there is. And then the service provider flight route. So this one has a London to Medina flight, Jeddah to London. And you can see this actual flight timing on the Nusuk platform when you log in. The code here, MS means Egypt Airways, SV means Saudia, and again, Egypt Air, and so on. And we put down the seat capacity in terms of how many preloaded group flights are on there if you wanted to check out quickly. Now, for example, Jamil 303 has a much larger capacity. You can see there's 65 seats, but it has nearly 300 spaces. So it's a good option if you wanted to still secure it if the group flight finished and you want to get on custom, you've got a very good chance to do that. And it is a 20-night program. It tells you what type of package it is, for example, standard or standard shifting or premium. And the arrival date is the 14th of May to the 3rd of June. And whether or not it's a shifting or a non-shifting program. Now, Abdul Latif Jamil mainly have non-shifting programs, and they have one shifting package that we've highlighted here, which is the 401. And it's quite good. The team have managed to hyperlink these as well. So if you click on the actual link, then it will open up to the actual location of the hotel. So you can see where is, for example, Lamar Ajad. And if you zoom out, it's not that far from the Haram. For people, although it's a non-shifting package, it will give you a very good price, but also for Hajj, It's very good in terms of access to Mina, moving around, and also taking shuttles or small taxis or cabs. And you can get dropped off just to this area in Ajyad, where Shuhada Hotel is, and walk 3-4 minutes into the Haram. So it's a good option for people that are looking to secure their Hajj and not worrying too much about going for the more expensive packages. It's a very respectable 26,000 or so real starting. And at the moment, that is mainly quad occupancy, but there may be availability to do upgrades post booking with the service provider. And actually, on this particular package, we've been told that inshallah, Abdul Latif Jamil will have some availability for rooms in Anjum if you wanted to upgrade potentially for after Hajj because you're there for quite a while in Mecca. The 401 is a program that a lot of people are interested in terms of it's a standard shifting program. You first come into Medina, so it will tell you 3 nights in Medina. Again, if you want to see the location of the hotel, you can click on it, and it will open up, and you've got plenty of time to do that. It's just a short walk from the Haram in Medina, so good location. Then you will come into your accommodation in Ajyad, which is the Lamar Ajyad, which I just showed on the previous screen, and then you'll move into the Anjum post Hajj for 4 nights, 5 nights, and then coming back to the UK. This has a Saudi airline 50-seat capacity, but it's got combined a lot more in terms of 250 or so spaces. So it's a very good option for people looking for the standard or the classic shifting programs that a lot of service providers used to do pre-COVID and so on. Now, here we have a block of 25 seats from Manchester. I know some people are interested in Manchester flights, and there are a lot of brothers and sisters that are very keen on getting a flight from Manchester. So those that are looking for Manchester, they can potentially try and get these seats on here, which are available across the 401, the 202, and the 203 packages. Now, what you'll notice this year, if the flight falls within the date range of the hotels booked, it will be available across several packages. So you have the option to book these packages with the preloaded group flight, or you can do the custom flight. Again, these packages here, the 202 and the 203, are very good programs in Central. They're premium hotels, but the Millennium Hotel is also in a good location for Hajj. Excuse me. And you can see here on the map, for example, the Haram is here. This walk to Palestine Hotel is about 1 kilometer, and then from there it's probably another kilometer, but it's very easy to access with lots of cars that will drop you all the way to this point here. From here you can walk to the Haram or even further up. So for people on a budget or looking to secure a program where they feel that there will be less competition and more chances of boosting their Hajj package or securing a package, then the Millennium Hotel is a good option to go for. And we'll run through later on with one of the Sierra packages, which is in the Voco, which is a lot closer, which is here. And actually, I stayed there myself last year, which was very easy to walk even without using the shuttle services. So the service providers obviously are making the programs to make it easy to transfer people or transport people for the days of Hajj, whilst maintaining a very respectable price, below 30,000 riyals, and also having it where they can do the operations and make it easy for people to move around and without having the penalty of paying really premium prices near the Haram. Having said that, Abdul Latif Jamil, mashallah, have provided luxury programs within the Haram area with their flagship hotel, the Anjum Hotel, which is a 5-minute walk from the Haram and is listed as a 5-star hotel. So these packages, the 106, 101, 102, 103, and 104, all of these are very good options for people looking for the shorter dates. Now you'll notice here the nights 13, 12, 11, 13. So these are for people that have maybe work commitments or childcare or looking to be nearby and don't want to be staying further away. So what we can do is maybe open up the Jamil 106 and have a look at that package exactly on the system right now. So you can configure that. So you'll see all the information. And we've done this on our previous webinars in terms of walkthroughs. But for people viewing for the first time or people who are unsure or yet to be verified, this is what it looks like when you come to the page. You'll see all the information on there. You'll see the number of nights, the type of package it is, which zone it's in, and obviously the information about the hotels. And here you'll see the nights that you're staying. So for example, you've got 18th to the 21st, which is a 3-night stay. The minimum is 3 nights on Nusuk, and then you'll have 10 nights in Mecca. If you want to check all the services, you can, but I think by you'd have done this before the sales goes live. You come down to the bottom here and you click on configure package, and then you'll come to the camp selection. So there's 6 stages before you check out. The first thing that everybody has to do is choose their camp. This is because some programs will have Majalal caption. We've discussed this before. This is a bit closer to Jamarat, but costs more. It's usually geared for people who are going to do a bit more individualistic Hajj, meaning less groups and more sort of solo because less people book there. And there's um, higher competition. So we've been recommended to, or we, to recommend to the pilgrims to boost their chances to go for Al Mu'aysim camp because it has simply more availability and it's cheaper. And the facilities, mashallah, are very good. And I don't think anyone from the UK will have any issues staying in Al Mu'aysim. Once you click on choose camp, you scroll down and click on next and you'll come to the room configuration package. Now, this particular package, mashallah, has double, triple, and quad room occupancy. So a lot of people looking for couple rooms, they can easily go now and secure it. As my account is only one person, I can only select one bed. Otherwise, if there were 2 of you, you need to ensure you click +2. And if it was 3 +3 on a triple and +4 on a quad, or whichever one works for you, and you ensure that Medina is selected the same on this particular package because I've selected in Mecca, it's auto calculated in Medina and we're good to go to the next page. So again, you need to scroll down and find this green button here, which says next. Sorry, Mishkat, if you can just tell me if my screen is clear because I do have a slightly larger screen than others.
That's clear.
And maybe it's going to be a bit, small for everyone. I can maybe zoom in a bit and make it easier. On additional services, we've seen over the years that actually these things are probably not worthwhile ticking because it will just add an extra few seconds to checking out. So our personal advice, just skip it and just go to the next page. You could add it, but this can all be sorted post-booking anyway, and service providers will be providing that. So don't worry about having to click on that. That's just a personal tip. So you just scroll down to the next and you will come to which is the page which is your flight. Now, I'll do a demo on the next particular program which has a group flight on there, but in this package, this is how it looks when you have to do a custom flight. So we will say there are no service provider flights, so you need to scroll down and click on acknowledge and select a flight. This is the custom flight that a lot of people will have to practice if they want to select these luxury packages. But it's not that difficult. You just need to go through it a few times and be quite familiar. So when you come onto this page, it's like booking any other flight on any travel comparison or travel agent website or so on. It's you've got to punch in your cities where you want to travel from. Now, according to your IP address, it will auto calculate a place from beforehand, but you want to type in the city you want to travel from. So for me, I'll put London. If I want it to be specifically Heathrow, then I'll click Heathrow. But I think on the day, it's probably easier to just type London and then Jeddah. Now, you'll notice there's two buttons here. Round trip means you'll go from London to Jeddah and back. That means the city you go to, you fly back from there. But we want to make our journey easy. So we want to click on multi-city because I want to fly into Medina and fly out from Jeddah because this package starts in Medina, I believe, as we saw at the beginning, and flies out from Jeddah. So we will type in the city combination. Now, you need to be familiar with typing in, clicking on the box and doing that so that on the day you're not, panicking or clicking on the wrong things. The dates will be pre-configured. If I wanted to travel a day later, I could. If I want to travel 2 days later, I could. The dates just have to fall within the dates of the hotels being booked. There are some flights as well I could potentially travel on the 17th evening that land on the 18th to give myself a greater chance. But for this particular demo, I'm going to stick to the maximum dates that they've given, which is 18th to the 31st. And you click on show flights, and it should bring you to the search results. Now, this thing, as you can see, will take probably between 20 seconds to half a minute on the day. So it is adding to your time of checking out. But inshallah, if you're familiar and you're good with searching, you'll be okay. You'll notice straight away if it says if your button is grayed out and not green, you cannot select it. And this is anywhere on Nusuk. If you don't see the green button, that means you can't tick it. Now, I will probably go for beforehand when I check when I'm practicing now between now and the sales, I'll be understanding that okay, I'm not keen on AJet. I want to go on Saudi Airlines or any other like Royal Jordanian and so on. And you can see how the prices jump from an original 5,000 and suddenly go to about 7, 8,000. For a luxury package with the shortest dates this year, we're expecting prices to be minimum between starting from about 8,000 riyals, going up to even 12,000 riyals. So which is about two to two and a half thousand pounds per person for the shortest dates, because it's in such high demand and the prices will always go up. So you need to top up accordingly. Of course, any excess money in your account, you can withdraw it, and that's safer. Better be safe than sorry. So when you click on the flight, actually, I can just show you if I go previous. Look, I clicked on previous and you see it's brought me back to this particular page. So don't try and reduce the number of clicks that you do because you'll have to select again and again. The website is obviously still developing over the years. So you'll notice that you have to sometimes kind of memorize all the things that you want to type in before you actually go on the page. Um, Okay, so if you wanted to see the flight details, you click on view flight details, you see all the information on there and so on, and then you can click off to come back to that page. But let's just check out or configure this package so that people are understanding how to do the custom flight. And then on the next one, we'll do the group flight. So you just tick yes quickly, check all the boxes and click on submit. And you'll see these sort of countdown, timers coming up. Um, Here it's telling you that the flight prices might change once reservations are available. I can tell you it will definitely change for custom flight as people are booking on the day. So you need to always top up, as we mentioned before. After the flights, you come to transportation, and you need to just click on package transportation always, because this is the one that's available. Private car will not be showing this year, most likely. So click on package transportation. Ensure that this is ticked on the right-hand side. Quickly scroll down and click on next. If you're unable to go next, you need to come up and make sure these are ticked, because that can happen sometimes. Again, you come to now the final review or configuration page where you can review everything that you've selected. I'll quickly check. I've selected one bed in a double room. I'm happy with that in Mecca and Medina. I've chosen this particular flight. If I want to quickly see it again, I click on the view details. I'm happy. A quick scan, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and then you want to go down and you read the terms and conditions. Read the terms and conditions from now. Don't be looking at it on the day because you want to be sure you're traveling. And then you just proceed and click on book. There'll be a button somewhere here saying purchase or complete booking or something like that, or confirm your Hajj package. Now, for now, you just want to do save configuration and you'll get this pop up. So you save it in your basket. Once you do that, it will come on your dashboard here, and also you'll see it in your basket up here. So you need to be familiar with that. If you want to select another package later on, you just click on remove and you choose another package. And you need to do that quickly. And as we've shown on previous webinars, you can save under your My Package, various different packages as your favorites and so on. So that's that quickly. I'll come back to the table because the table was what people were waiting for a while. So this is the Abdul Latif Jamil UK recommended packages for people looking for a nearby hotel in a good standard. Go for the luxury Jamil ones, the 101, 2, 3, 4, and 6. I believe 103 will come back online soon, hence we didn't put the hyperlink, but the others are already visible on Nusuk. And you can see there's a very healthy availability. There's nearly 170 spaces on this one, 120, and combined there's a good amount. And these are just slight variations of the arrival date and the departure date, but in essence, they're more or less 3 nights in Medina and between 8 to 10 nights in Mecca, in and out, do your Hajj, but you're near the Haram. So it's something that a lot of people are interested in, and you need to practice doing the custom flights for these ones. Please do keep in mind that there are a lot of group seats with Abdul Latif Jamil, and it's always good to consider them. As I showed before, Lamar Ajad is a very good location, and also Millennium Hotel in terms of performing your Hajj. Now, this Millennium one, for example, there's a 15-night program for people looking to just do the Hajj and come back. You're paying 30,000 riyals and you're staying, you're going to have what, 5, 6 days doing the days of Hajj, one day traveling in, a couple of days rest. You don't have much time to
Brother
go to
Muqtadi,
anyway. Yes. Did you say something? Sorry, Mishkad, you said something or you?
your connection is coming and going.
Are you sure?
Yeah, so your connection is sometimes cutting off for the last 5 minutes for a few seconds. Yes, so perhaps switch your video off and just talk for now, just in case. Go ahead, carry on.
Okay. Okay, so I don't know. We have very fast internet in the office, so it's very strange. Okay, so this is the Abdul Latif
That's right.
Jamil table. We'll now move on to the Sierra group holding recommended UK packages. We have shared a version of this beforehand on the Telegram group. This is the updated one that admin have posted now. And again, you'll see about 9 options here. And with the package capacity, the different flight combinations, and you can see there's plenty of group flight availability. Again, for people that are worried about potentially not having their, worrying about the custom flight, they can go and configure from now, have their peace of mind that, this is saved on their basket and they can check out quite quickly. Now, again, all of these Mecca and Medina hotels are hyperlinked, so you can click on them and find the exact location. Um, so we'll click on Montana Al Azizia Hotel, which is um, on the main road in Azizia, actually quite close to some of the other ones that we have with, um, I can maybe bring it up now. Park Elite is not too far from here as well. But just to scan out, it's in a good location from Jamarat. When we do our stoning, you can come to Al Azizia to your hotel if you wanted to freshen up and rest, and also good access to the Haram in terms of the shuttle services that are available up until a certain point. And if not, there's always taxis available. So, you know, again, service provider has created these packages for ease of moving people to and from the Mashayar to the days of Hajj to make it easier and also to bring the cost down and to satisfy the requirements of Nusuk and the Ministry of Hajj. Um, so you'll see Montana is one of the hotels that that we have with Sira, and also Safwa Al Talaya. I'll click on that. I believe I showed this on our previous webinar, but this one is actually a little bit closer to Jamarat. So it's on the way to walking to Haram as well. So it's a very good location again. And it's just a couple of miles away from the main Haram area. Okay. So
Okay.
there's a few tunnels. Is my net lagging again, Mishkat, or is it okay?
Yes, just generally it's lacking even when you're sharing something, it's
It
the
might be the sharing, to be honest. That's probably what it is. Um,
but
so
it's fine. So at the moment you can't is the map showing to you?
no. It's I'm on the table. I suspect it might be in your end because you're now
Sheikh,
lagging.
I think it's your end. It's
Yeah.
mine's working fine.
Yeah. Okay, I'll continue now anyway. We have the Supreme th 3 and the Supreme 2, which are very popular
Just
packages.
stop for a moment. So this is here where the icon is here, the red icon. That's where Safwatul Tala is. Yeah? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, this icon here.
The power. So Jamarat is just behind, I can see. So it's not far from Jamarat.
Yeah, not far from Jamaat.
Like, okay. So it's a walking distance from after Stony. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, move on. So
Okay,
perhaps
so
what we can suggest is everyone go to the PDF and sort of click on the links and open it up in Google Maps to have a good look.
but just a reminder to everyone, when you click on the links, you have to be logged into Nusuk beforehand to be able to go to
Mm,
the page straight away. In terms of the packages, in terms of the links,
okay.
that will open up all the time, regardless of
The
that's
maps
Google
one.
Maps.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, so let me show you the Voco Hotel as well. I did touch on that a little while ago, but it's a very popular package or hotel for Umrah.
And in Hajj this year.
Yeah, but for Hajj as well. So you can see this actually for many people in Hajj, this is walkable. It will take you about 15-20 minutes. And actually, you can get the shuttle service goes around and drops you to the other side. But the time it takes to get on the shuttle, probably you can walk it in that time as well. From practical experience, having stayed there last year with some of the groups. As well, there are always many small cabs or taxis that can drive you up to the nearest point, up until probably here or even the bridge. It will save you about a couple of minutes. From the bridge to there is about
So,
3-4 minutes.
sorry. So what we're seeing now is it's not zoomed in on our screen. So we're just seeing just if we just wait for it to zoom. on the share. Perhaps stop share and start sharing again. That might help.
Inshallah, I believe it's your one because other people are finding it okay.
Okay.
Hmm?
No
Yeah,
problem.
we're clear on that.
So this is
Barakallah
Ibrahim
feekum.
Al Khalil Road. This is the Voca Hotel here. Sorry, this is the Voca Hotel. It's got 2 towers, and as I mentioned before, the Millennium Hotel was just here. Just scroll down. Millennium Hotel was just here. So these 2 options are pretty similar. Obviously, Millennium's a bit further away, but Voco is a very good option for people. Again, if I come back to the table, they have on the Supreme 3 a 15-day option with they have 65 seats available across Qatar Air and Royal Jordanian on the group flight, but also plenty of availability if you wanted a custom flight and secure that package. And last year, mashallah, Sira were able to provide upgrades to double and triples. We're hoping they can do some of that again this year, but again, that's all subject to availability post booking. So a lot of people took facilities or took the advantage of that facility last year. The Supreme 2 is a slightly longer version, or it's about a week longer. But you could book these packages. If the Supreme 3 180 spaces filled out, you can do the Supreme 2 and do a shorter combination on the custom flights. So what you have to realize is these are the maximum dates, and by having maximum dates, it gives you more availability in terms of options with your flights. You can do, for example, Mawasim Value 30, which is in the Park Elite Hotel, and I'll show you where that is. It's again on the main road in Azizia. Good access to the Haram and not too far from Jamarat and Mina as well. So again, it was chosen to keep the availability of the pricing and also the location for moving the groups on the day to Mina and back. So this particular package is a good option for people as well who want to have a budget. Like, it's a lot cheaper, 23,000 starting, and it also has double and triple occupancies as well. So people may be thinking, actually, I want to secure my Hajj. If I can't get my first choice of being nearby, I'll do a bit of sacrifice. I'll stay in somewhere like Park Elite Hotel or Voco, and I'll spend a bit less money, but I can get my double room, my triple room, my family room, and I can either take the shuttle buses to the Haram, say from Asr onwards to Isha or from Dhuhr onwards, or take a cab and spend maybe 10, 15 pound a day on cabs, but still overall save a lot of funds or a lot of money. But I've secured my Hajj program with a very good service provider and also guides. So that's something to consider. So go through these tables in the next few days and understand. I know a lot of people have gone through the Sira one already, so I won't take much time on this particular table. But one of the more popular packages we can see is the Smart 01, which is again a shifting program similar to the 401 we did with Abdul Latif Jamil, but has slightly longer stay, I believe. It's 22 days as opposed to 20. And it's in the Hyatt Regency for 6 nights as opposed to 4 nights in the Anjum. So this is a very good option where you come in to Azizia first, then you have the Hyatt Regency post-Hajj, and then onto Medina. So you'll see on this column here, where is the first city? People looking for Medina first will find it predominantly on the ALJ ones, and on Sira, most of them are Mecca first, except the last ones here, which are the Value Plus 3 and 5, where they have Medina first, as well as the Elite Plus. Elite Plus is quite a popular one, a very good option to go for. If I click on this, we'll bring it up again. It's in the Sheraton Hotel, about 7-8 minute walk from the Haram, and is similar to the luxury Anjum programs in terms of you're nearby the Haram all the time. And this particular one, the difference between the other one is it has group flights and it has a minimum of 60 seats, but plenty of availability, more than double in terms of the bed capacity. So if the 60 seats finish, go on the custom flight and quickly secure it. You'll have availability on that. As long as you practice doing that, you'll be okay, inshallah. So that's the Sira Group Holding table, and that's been shared as well. Now we'll move on to Holiday in Bakka. Holiday in Bakka, we have 6 options, inshallah. We've narrowed down for the UK market in terms of UK recommended packages. And the primary reason is because of the good availability of flights that come with them. So there was about nearly 300 or so flights available with holiday in Bakka. The last two were added recently, and they are from Manchester, so something for people to consider, and I'll touch on that in a moment. Out of this list, we found that the Holiday Inn hotel is probably going to be the most popular because of the shorter duration and looking at the configuration or the demand that people have in terms of having in and out, perform your Hajj and going without spending too much time in Saudi Arabia. So the 204 and the 210 are effectively the same program. The only difference is one will arrive to Medina first and the other one will be in Mecca first. But the Mecca hotel is the same. Medina, slight difference as you go pre-Hajj and post-Hajj, and the duration. So the 204 and the 210 are good options for people who want to not spend too long away from their work or children or away from the UK and need to secure, as is the An-Noor Holiday in Mecca 304, which is in Imar An-Noor. So I'll just show you Holiday Inn location first, and then the Imar An-Noor. So this is the Holiday Inn Bakka. It's called the Mecca Azizia Holiday in Bakka. It's on, again, on the main road, and it's pretty much close to all the other hotels. And you notice a lot of people are saying, where will the guides be? We're going to be like kind of pretty much close by, whether it's Park Elite or Montana or Holiday in Bakka and so on. It's all going to be more or less in the same sort of area. So, mashallah, the guides will be will be available throughout, and you'll be pretty much in the district of where all the Hajjis stay for Hajj. So again, you can go on the Google Maps itself to, if you want to know the location. I think many of you have already done that already, but for those that are looking at this for the first time, Imar Noor, we'll click on that one. And we'll see the exact location. This one is a bit closer up the road as opposed to the Holiday Inn, which was down here. So again, all of these information, that if you want to see pictures and videos, you can check it on Google, YouTube. Just bear in mind that everything was geared or made to keep the accommodation practical as well as the pricing very reasonable. With Holiday in Bakka, their prices are very good, mashallah. And you'll see on the 210, the Holiday Inn HIB 210, you have the options of double and triple rooms as well, which is very appealing to a lot of families who want to say, you know what, I'll go do a 16-day package, but I'll have a husband and wife room or a family room, and let's confirm that from the system and not wait for post-booking upgrades. You can do that and secure that. So pay attention to the flight availability in terms of, you can see there's flight capacity, but there's always more than double availability in the actual package. So go for the group flight first. If you're unable to secure a group flight, because you can configure that from today. You can go on right now as I'm on the system. You can configure, save it on your basket. You know what you want to go for, and maybe top up a few thousand riyals extra, maybe £500 extra per person to then cover in the event that you have to go for a custom flight on that particular package. But at least you know that it's the same package you want to go for, and you can select the custom flight and just secure that program that you've sort of mentally prepared yourself for. Now, options 5 and 6 here are the 112 and the 113. These are luxury shifting packages and actually have been made to incorporate some pilgrims' request for the 40 Salah in Medina. So it's actually 8 nights in Medina, in very good hotel in Medina Hilton, but it is a very long program. So probably more for the people who have time or semi-retired or people who can who work remotely or who have the availability to take that time off. But there are 70 group flights from Manchester on Egypt Air, and it's something that some people think, you know what, there'll probably be less competition for this because it's a longer package and it's from Manchester, but I want to go for that. I can arrange the time off. It's got double, triple, and quad room occupancies. So it gives me a good stay. Also, it's like 9 nights in near the Haram in Jebel Omar Hyatt Regency is very good. So you'll have a very good time there. And then obviously you've got the rest of the time in Holiday in Bakka, which is your base in Azizia. You can always commute. 5, 6 days will be the days of Hajj, and then 5 days either side. So you can secure these packages as well, very good prices at 30 and 36,000 riyals respectively. And if you felt that, okay, these flights have run out, you could always book in a custom flight. And if you did the custom flight, you can shorten your stay by choosing shorter dates. But just bear in mind when the Medina dates are. for the check-in, check-out. So again, good variety of packages, and the reason why we're recommending these is because we know that there are a healthy amount of flights from the UK attached to these packages, and a lot of people have been asking the guides, look, we don't want to go on the custom flights, we just want to secure and save in our basket from now the group flight. So something to consider. And as Brother Mishkat said before, the things that you need to look at, the things you need to compromise on or look at in terms of when it comes to the reality and you want to secure your Hajj for 2026, what are the negotiables and what are the things that you can't give up. But ultimately, if you want to go this year, you need to think, if you had to choose, do I just secure a package on my second, third, or fourth or fifth option? Between these three tables, inshallah, we're confident that you'll have many, many options and enough capacity. And the whole reason why we've been approved as guides under these three service providers is to give you a variety, knowing that there's a capacity on each company and country quota, and to give you the best chance and success of doing your Hajj with us as your guides, inshallah. So I don't know, Mishkat, if you want me to continue with another demo on the actual nusuk thing, or should we take some questions or move on
Yeah,
now?
so just before we stop, I mean, everybody's been waiting for these tables, and
Yeah.
I think let people study the tables, inshallah.
Yes.
If they have questions, they can ask, inshallah ta'ala. But one thing to bear in mind as well is somebody asked if you could show in and display how to put more packages on preference, like three, like, to make, say, one in your cart and four on preference.
Okay,
How
sure.
do you do that so you can quickly access it? And we're going to do regular webinars, inshallah ta'ala, to help with that, and just do extended Q&A, inshallah, from now on.
That's fine. So as you can see on my screen, when you log in, you'll come to your dashboard and then you click on you click on packages at the top. When you first log in, that is, you click on filter and you scroll down to the service provider and you choose one of the service providers that we've recommended to you, either Sierra, Abdul Latif, Jamila, Holiday in Becca. So for example, Sierra Group Holding. Um, and again, you'll see the different packages. Now they have, if you scroll down, 46 packages on there. But 46 packages are not suitable for the United Kingdom. A lot of them will be for UK, for US, France, Germany, and so on. Some of them will be the same packages as UK, but just offshoots with the group flights from those other countries as well. So it'll be duplicates. But say, for example, let's say the Value 20, which is a very good program in terms of package pricing and so on. You can just prefer it by clicking on the heart. So you click on the heart, it will be saved under my preference. Then you tell yourself that, okay, I want to compare that to the value 30, which is, I can tell roughly the difference is 6 nights, but if I want to have them saved, I click on preference, and because I know, like I've looked at the table and I've seen that, okay, I want to go for 30, I might want to go for 20, and I might want to go for one of the shifting programs, for example. Um, so if I bring up the Smart 01, or where's the Smart 01? So there's a lot more pages now. For example, I want to save the Smart 01 and then also potentially Supreme 3 and Supreme 2. So I've now saved 5 of my preferences. And how do I view that? It's very simple. You always click on your name at the top and then go to My Package. So you click on My Package and it will bring you to your preferred packages. And you can see I've saved 5. Now, on the day of booking, if, God forbid, your original package that you went for in your basket is sold out, or it says capacity full, and you try custom flight, it's not working, you quickly empty from your cart, and then you click on View All Packages. Sorry, you click on My Package, and you come to your preferences, and then you see your second choice. So, for example, if you wanted to go for value 20, that sold out, you come back and you click on value 30, and you come to the configure page quickly, and you continue the steps moving on. So let's just do that quickly for people who may have missed some of the webinar. You click on next, and you'll notice that sometimes the website's not doing anything. You make sure if there's no loading button, then you can click on next again. But look, I clicked on it twice and it says something went wrong. And I'll be, figure out, do I need to click next again or no? So this can happen on the day. This is actually a good thing to show you that, look, you're thinking, why can't I go next? So you'll probably have to come back again to My Package, and look, it's chucked me out now. So this will happen on the day potentially, and it can be very frustrating to you. You'll have to quickly log back in, make sure you have your device on you for the OTP, and always have your password pre-saved. Don't be sitting there trying to type it in. It will waste time. Make sure you save your password and have the password saved. Now, it's been about 15-20 seconds. The OTP hasn't come yet. Let's hope it comes quickly. But on the day, it can take up to even 2-3 minutes. And previous years, it's gone beyond the 5 minutes. And if that happens, you need to wait a few minutes before you request another code. Otherwise, you'll fall into the vicious cycle of being behind one code. And again, we'll probably have a session before the sales go to explain how to do that. So quickly, I'll go into my preference, configure package, choose a camp, next. And by now, this should be clockwork. You know what to click without even seeing it. Yeah, you go next, skip the extras, go to next. And look, on this button, it will always take longer. Now I'm going to select the group flight for this one. You'll see the details are on there. If it's showing the group flight, that means it's available. If not, it'll probably be grayed out. We're not sure if it's going to fail or whether it's going to show the group flight as a selection. So something new for this year. We're not exactly entirely sure, but we assume it will be grayed out. If it's not, and it says flight is sold out, then you need to come on custom flight and configure a custom flight, or go to your second or third choice with a group flight that you saved in your My Preferences. And some of the recommendation is that maybe consider having all 5 of your preferences as a group flight in your basket, just so that you can check out quicker. It all comes down to how confident you are in terms of will you be able to secure or navigate the custom module on the day, and do you want to take that risk, or do you want to just say, no, do you know what, I want to do my Hajj and secure the group flight? Because we've made available nearly 600 group flights or more, 100 or so, 150 or so on Abdul Latif Jamil, nearly 300 on Holiday in Bakka, and nearly 300 on Sierra as well. So there's a good allocation of flights. Whilst the dates might not be exact, maybe compromise and secure your Hajj for this year. Again, you come down, save configuration, and this is what people should be doing now. If you're verified, you need to make sure you're topped up with sufficient funds. You need to be configuring your package and practicing daily. And every single one of you, regardless of whether you're verified or not, log in once in the morning or log in once in the evening. Make sure your profile is okay and verified. You don't want to turn up like some people have contacted us and said, I logged in after 1 month and I saw I'm not verified again. We saw last week a lot of people becoming unverified. So we need to make sure that there's no hiccups between now and in 10 days' time when sales go live on the 3rd. And we need to boost our chances and do everything that we can to prepare to the best of our abilities, inshallah. Were there any other questions, Mishkat, on the chat regarding the demo or?
Um, let's open the Q&A,
Yeah,
inshallah.
some
Is that
Q&A,
okay?
I think that would be good. But if people haven't received the PDFs, they're on our announcement on our Telegram group, so you'll see all 3 of them on there. Please be respectful with these PDFs and make sure that you're going through them correctly, print them out, save them on your desktop, hyperlink or save the hyperlinks as favorites, and just be familiar with the particular tables that we're giving you, inshallah.
Jazakumullahu khairan.
So I'll stop
Barakallah.
sharing my screen for now, and we can go into the Q&A.
Jazakumullah khairan. Tayyib, quickly, there's quite a few questions. First and foremost, there were some typos, I think, on 102, on the Sira one. So that's been corrected in terms of date. It says 5th of the 5th, as opposed to 19th, I think. I don't know the details, but the team I can see are working on that, so don't worry about that. It will be shared or corrected. But the whole point of these tables is to give you, because it gives you the link to the nusuk. And what you need to do is ensure that you go to the actual nusuk website and check all of that data. Inshallah ta'ala, it is there to sort of give you a sort of comparison. If it says it's 22 nights or 21 nights or 14 nights, that's the whole point, to sort of amalgamates and brings everything to one place so you can easily see. Because ultimately the question is, which packages are we guiding as a team from the guides of Hassan Travel? So this is the
Sorry to interrupt, Mishkat. Are you able to switch on your video? Then it might be a lot more engaging here.
Yes, sorry. So inshallah, what I'll do is okay. Jazakumullah khairan, Brother Muhtadi, for that. And sometimes, like, we're trying to get through a lot of information and it's hard to grasp everything. You've asked a question, and then in the meantime, Brother Muhtadi is speaking and you've missed something out. So what I would suggest is perhaps go back to this section where Muhtadi has covered again if you need to. Okay, so the recording will be sent. And also for those many brothers messaged us to say that they're not able to join in today. So inshallah ta'ala, the main thing is to reach out to you and share these tables that, so it's easy for you to compare and contrast. I do appreciate there's one or two errors, but that's a typo, nothing else. Inshallah, it'll be resolved. So one of the questions is £500 per person extra to the package sufficient? Trying to understand how much extra to top up. So this depends on the package itself and the date. But generally, yes, I would say that is okay. Okay. Some people will put only, 30, £40 more. But I mean, if you can, I mean, I understand everyone's financial situation is different. It's not the same with everyone. So where it's possible, remember that money may take some time to pull out as well, at least a month, give or take, so as soon as you've confirmed everything and you're sure that you've got your confirmation, and we will prompt you then. Do not withdraw any money until we mention, if you, inshallah, that you're successful to book. It is very rare, but some people have been confirmed and some issues happen and they need the money again, but they've already clicked the withdraw button. So be careful. I mean, the whole aim is to be familiar, as Muhtadi said, go through the site, keep practicing, and then ensure something is in your cart and you have some favorite packages as well. If that one is not available, next one. Or the flight is not available for the group flight, you're going to go and look for custom flight for that same package because you know the package capacity is much more than the group flight. You still want that package. That's fine. And this year, you could be, I could say maybe you could be very it could be the case that many people will get custom flight as well. But you should try for the group flight first, but practice custom flight as well as a backup. If everybody's trying for the group flight and the custom flight works, then a lot of people may be able to also secure custom flight. So it's, again, nobody knows for sure. And we also have the issue of technical issues that may occur, but every year it's improving. We can see that. So there are efforts being made to ensure that the servers are able to deal with that. In terms of, sometimes you get in package. The question is, HIB 210 is only showing double room availability for Medina and quad for Mecca, whereas the table you shared is saying for both. So sometimes whatever showing is on whatever is showing on Nusuk is correct. In the last few days, and you have to appreciate that things are changing. It changed a lot in the last 4 or 5 days, right? Packages are being removed. The moment a package is removed, when it comes back, that needs to be rechecked again. Okay, and so it is possible. I'm not sure who it is, brother or sister. If it is needed to upgrade on the quad to double once you get there, if you book it, yes, just go for what's available. And then for this one, holiday in Bakka, inshallah, it should be possible to do that post booking. Okay, but that would mean post booking we would share out a form straight away to those brothers and sisters who confirm. And that will be communicated by the service providers in their respective groups. That, okay, if you've confirmed that, then please do let us know if there's any other specific requirements, perhaps if you have any. So like we said with the wheelchair, some people asked about the wheelchair on the group, and Brother Ghazi been answering, mashallah, may Allah bless him. Wheelchair, a lot of people have this worry about wheelchair. Now, generally, if you're going to Hajj, you have to walk, right? But there are people who can't walk, right? What happens to them? Very simply, you ensure that you inform us and the service providers beforehand, and they'll make the necessary arrangement. They will not push you, and there's no service to push you. So what will happen is, whether it's in Masjid al-Haram, whether it's in Tawaf or Sa'i, if you need some support, then the support teams will help you arrange for someone to push you and you should have extra cash for that. Okay. But the free wheelchair that is provided by the Nusuk and the service providers will be for Mina, and in the hotels for someone to push your family member to push. Okay, so that's something to be clear about. And even if you don't book it on the website, it's not an issue. Even after Hajj, there'll be so many questions about support, post booking. So that's not an issue. So that's important to answer because people may have that question. Okay. Okay. We don't know the timing. Many people ask the same question in regards to the timing. No one at all. Only Allah knows what time will the package.
Sheikh, we want to allow some of the people to ask the question, and we open their mic, inshallah. But we want to start with the people that topped up their e-wallet. So if somebody has topped up their e-wallet, they're ready, and they want to ask any question, they can raise their hand, and we can answer their question.
No problem, inshallah.
Once you finish, inshallah. So
no, that's fine.
Okay, so we have Brother Sayyid Hussein here. Can you allow Brother Sayyid Hussein to speak?
Yes, go ahead. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. This is Sayyid Hussein from Stockholm, Sweden. Thank you for all the help, Brother Mutadi. You have been very kind to me. So one question. Now, I'm just preparing for the worst scenario here. Let's assume I don't get to finalize my first preference, and I'm forced to buy a package or a package from, let's say, Paris or France. How will I be transferred to a UK speaking group, or let's say under you or by Brother Mutadi here, because my preference is English speaking group. So I want to be transferred to under you plus included in all the logistics. So I don't want to even travel with a group which I'm not familiar with the language there.
Which package are you buying, Brother Sayyid?
Right now I'm put onto Smart 01.
Smart 01. Smart 01, yes, we'll be communicating with you and we'll be in touch with you, inshallah. So once you complete your purchase, you will be sharing your invoice and everything with us, and we'll be heading them to the service provider to add you in our guidance list, inshallah.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter if I go as a second preference or something else which is closer.
Is this package among the package that we have recommended in our table?
Yeah. But that is all UK, right? Now I'm saying as a worst case scenario, I am forced to select something which is from Paris. Still Sira Group Mawasim. Will you transfer me to Hassan Group managed packages?
We highly recommend you if you're with Sira groups, because especially they have given us an instruction to follow, to advise people to buy the groups,
Yep.
groups which is recommended from UK.
Okay, so in Brother Said, sorry to interrupt. So Brother Said is living in Sweden, but he wants to come with us with English speaking. So his particular case is slightly different to the vast majority
That's
here.
fine.
So as we've discussed, Brother Said, inshallah, your one, you proceed with Smart 01. If not, you can go with any custom flight with the closest package, and you'll be included with us, inshallah, no problem.
Yes,
Okay?
inshallah, we'll arrange that manually, inshallah.
Because there are some packages which are just plus minus a day, but the same program, same hotels, and you'll be included with us as English speaking. Okay?
Okay, inshallah.
Can I just add, brothers and sisters, just remember all of this is you can see, because of logistics. It's all about logistics and ensuring that we are available. We don't want to push a package or speak to you about a package where we want to be there for you, and we want our team to be there for you. So if it corroborates or sort of is parallel to the same program, but for another group, then there will be Germans, there will be French, and Hajj you will find in the same hotel, in the same, say it says for UK, there might be Americans there might be people from Canada in the same. But in terms of doing the Hajj and the communication and the guidance and support and all of these things, of course, these kind of things can be possible. Post booking, there will be sort of information that will be collated to organize all of that, and this will be from the service providers anyway, in cooperation with the guides. So
okay, we have next Brother Ramiz Zafar, if you can allow him to speak.
Jazakumullah khairan, Brother Said.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much.
Allah bless you. Inshallah, may Allah grant all of us success, inshallah. Brother Ramiz, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
uh, I have obviously a preference for Elite Plus or Hajj Jameel 106. Now, 106 doesn't have flights, but Elite Plus does have, so which is reassuring. That was going to be my first choice anyway. My question is, now it may not be possible, but I'm asking anyway. Now, we have been hearing that the standard package are the packages which are of longer duration, have got more spaces, and you're more likely to secure a place because many people go for luxury and shorter packages, and the longer duration packages are often not very sought after. So you may get a chance to book that. Will it be possible if we booked a standard long duration package, but we wanted to upgrade it back to a premium, which is what we originally intended to book? Would there be any chance of doing that? Once we are booked in a certain category, we have to stick with that.
Which package you were looking for?
Well, I'm interested in Elite Plus, which I'm just saying in case it
Brother
runs
Muhtadi
out.
can answer, inshallah. Muhtadi,
Yeah.
can you?
I mean, alhamdulillah, last year with our service providers, we were with Abdul Latif, Jameel, and Sierra last year, and there were upgrades that people wanted within the same package for room occupancy. In terms of cross packages, for example, you want to go from one category to a higher one, service provider will have no issue with that so long as we inform them. We'll have about 8 weeks or so between the booking and travel, at least, to be working on this. So the first month will be going on data validation, all the other stuff, and then in that time we will then request, for example, whether Ramiz has requested he wants to move, for example, from Voco to Hyatt Regency or vice versa, whatever it was, and he's requested and is willing to pay the difference on a case-by-case basis. They will assess and accept accordingly.
Okay,
as long as it falls within the dates and everything, then that's potentially doable. I can't sit here saying it can be done 100% because it will all depend on their final numbers post-booking and the availability. But generally, they're open to that. If it, but it shouldn't be for everyone.
Some of the rooms in our hands, inshallah, for the post-booking to facilitate for our pilgrims, inshallah. So, especially the Anjum Hotel, we'll have some rooms in our hand for post-booking. And after the sales, we can coordinate on that one, inshallah.
Yeah, no, that's very helpful. I mean, I work in hospital, so I can only take 14, 15 days off. So that's why. Now, the other question is a slightly different one. Which server would you recommend? Chrome, Safari? I mean, there are quite a few. Which one is more reliable and quick?
Who's going to answer that?
Muhtadi.
So I'll be frank with you. Since 23, 24, and 25, we've seen that it varies, and it varies from country, varies from IP, it varies from your internet browser. We've seen people do all sorts, including like doing VPNs and everything. But generally, we found that Firefox is good and Chrome is good.
Right. Okay.
Internet Edge is also, the Microsoft Edge is not bad as well. To be honest,
most important,
we tried various theories. We like personally, we've seen that a lot of people have been doing on all of them, and there are some theories that this one works better and that one doesn't. Even there's some theories about your server or your email is linked to the OTP comes a little bit faster than the others, and there's a small amount of truth in that. But it's and you go with the one you're more familiar with and have all three open, maybe available.
Right. I mean, I was just planning to have one on laptop, one on desktop, simultaneously logged in, and then try and work which one is quicker.
One thing I will say is if you have too many devices from the same internet, then that causes a problem on Nusuk sometimes from experience. So, say, for example, 10 devices from your same router is going in, we've seen that it slows down or kicks you out a lot more. So be a bit smart. If you have mobile device data, use that on one or two devices.
Right.
Use your broadband for another, just so the system doesn't feel like you're overloading it. Because we've seen on previous years residences where they've got too many devices struggle to log in as opposed to people with maybe fewer. You'd think with more devices, more chances. So it's not a black and white answer as well that we've seen.
And also, you don't try to keep logged in same account from two devices, because we have been testing the system a lot. For example, using Brother Muhtadi's account, when we are working on it, he's trying to log in, he's getting kicked out, or we're getting kicked out. So that's why it's better to log in from one device to one account at a time.
Okay. All right.
However, there's a caveat with that, just for everyone's benefit. you can have multiple tabs open on the login page, and that's good practice. So have Firefox open, Google Chrome open, Edge open, whatever.
Yeah.
Have the login page, because what we found, and one of the brothers was asking what happens on the day when you go to hajj.nusuk.sa, you get a new screen, dark screen saying you're in the queue.
Yes.
And that can happen sometimes. We don't know if it'll happen this year, but it has happened the last 2 years. So to stop that, or to give yourself a greater chance, maybe have multiple tabs open where, if in case you get chucked out, like I did on the demo, you can go back to the other one, which is already lined up on the homepage. Does that make sense?
Right.
So
Okay.
it gives you
But
that
then
chance.
you would need to log in on the new site as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you can log in, but be on the homepage. What I'm saying is the bit where it says enter your email, because
Right.
people, and I don't want to sound scary to people, but there was an issue last year and the year before that where just to get in to type your email and the password, there was a queuing system. It was too many people on the website. You couldn't get to that page even. 45 minutes, 1 hour went, and your time was, your chances were just going
What
down
we
every
can
second.
do is we're gonna look. We have
We'll,
some.
we'll have a session on that as well.
We'll
All
have a
right.
session
Okay.
specifically on that.
Okay.
Today is more to do
Jazakallah.
with just packaging. Yeah, may Allah bless you. We will prepare you, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
May Allah help. May Allah make it easy for all of us, inshallah.
Mm.
I mean, Jazakallah. Thank you for speaking.
Don't see any more hands here to ask any questions. So did we cover all of the questions that we have in
Muhammad
the
Shahid, one person, brother Muhammad Shahid.
Muhammad Shahid, yeah.
Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Can you hear me?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you?
Jazakallah khair, Ustad Mishkat and Brother Muhtadi and Brother Khazi for all the information you provided over the last weeks and months. Seems like it's been a long process to bring us here. So Jazakallah khair for everything that you've done for us.
Allah accept.
I just had a question regarding the spreadsheet that Brother Muhtadi shared with us earlier. The question is around the allocation of group flight seats. So I noticed there were 3 packages, for example, grouped together, and then the number of flights was stated in one box. For example, 80 seats or 60 seats. Does that mean there are 80 seats per package, or does that mean there are 80 seats spread across those 3 packages? I hope it makes sense.
Clear.
Brother
Jazakallah
Muhtadi.
khair.
Okay, excellent question, Brother Muhammad, and something that we tried to kind of explain or visualize in maybe previous webinars, but it probably wasn't clear. This year, the flights, when we say group package, what does that mean? It means a preloaded flight, a flight with up to, say, anything of more than 10 seats is classed as a group with airlines. So it can be 10 seats as a minimum plus up to, say, 100 seats even on a particular PNR, on a group booking. This will be attached on previous years just to one package. Okay, so for example, if a package you like, for example, had 50 seats and it was on that package, that seat couldn't be used on another package, and sometimes they were burned, they were wasted, and people wanted the flights, but it wasn't attached to the right package. What Nusuk have done this year, they've allowed service providers to make the same group of seats. If I have 100 seats, I can make it available on package 1, 2, 3, all 3 of them, so long as my flight falls within the hotel dates booked. Does that make sense? So if one is 18 days, one is 19 days, in terms of package duration, but my flight is 17 days, I can put it on both packages because 17 days falls within 18 and 19 days. Does that make sense? So then I can use that flight. Now what happens is, as people book separate packages, the seats come down. So 50 becomes 45, then 30, and so on. So you have to think that with the way we done the table, for example, if you look at I'll just show my screen quickly. So for example, I'll do this. Sierra one's got a good example. There's 3 sets of seats on these particular 2 packages. So what we've done is there's 70 seats on Gulf Air, 45 seats on Royal Jordanian, 20 seats on Qatar Air. Okay, these are the different routes. But these are available both on the value 20 and the value 80. So they will be split. The airline seats will be used, but you may be assigned to 20 if you buy value 20, or value 80 if you buy value 80. Okay. Similarly, these 80 seats on Qatar Air are not 80 seats on each particular package. It's 80 seats across the 3, because the service providers have to, there's a fixed quota country-wise, there's a fixed quota company-wise, and then they also have to get the availability. They don't know what the appetite or who's going to book on which particular program, so they have to do a sensible number. And we've seen they've done probably according to their country target, maybe 50% or 60% making available in terms of group flights. And then they have to then put it within the date range. Now, because these are all 22 nights, it falls it will work on all three of these packages. And similarly, these 60 seats on Royal Jordanian, because it's a 14-night flight combination, it falls within the package capacity, which was minimum 14 nights, potentially even 15 or 16. Okay, so I hope you've understood that concept. People who are maybe a bit confused, the flights that are on a preloaded or a group flight, as we refer to, can be used across multiple packages. Can be, not always will be, but can be. Most service providers have. If you notice if you're worried about that and you want to go on just particular packages only, for example, Holiday in Bakka have more specific to packages, and similarly, Abdul Latif Jameel, they have certain flights that are just specific to packages as well. But Sierra seem to have the most overlap. But again, study the table and you'll have particular options. You'll see on this particular packages, you'll have 3 flight options. If Gulf is finished, go for Royal Jordanian or go for Qatar or in any particular order. And that's how it will work for this year.
On that note, what I would suggest is if you're looking for, I mean, you shouldn't discount these kind of flights, because ultimately you want to secure your package. Remember, getting into the site is one of the main sort of struggles in this booking process. And one person asked this question, Salam, can you talk through what actually happens on the day of sales? I've heard website can be very slow and you need to have a lot of patience. Is the signing in that takes a long time with OTP not coming through in time, or is it the actual website that lags once logged in? What's the best advice to get in? Do you sign in exactly at the time of sale, or do you log in beforehand and just keep refreshing the page? Any top tips? So this is again, so what we'll say to you today is that we're going to have a session on this particular these questions. I could give you an answer, brother or sister, today, and it could be the realities, and this is from my experience. We were saying things and then it could be something else. No one has the key or the answer exactly, because the situation and the tech in the background and timing and the amount of people trying to get on the site, along with the whole ecosystem working together with everyone coming online, we can't say for sure. But what I can say, because why did I ask that? Why did I move to that question? Is that, say, for example, ultimately, that, okay, going for a preloaded flight is quicker because I want to go quicker to checkout. That's one element of the booking process. And that's when you get into the website. But before that, to get into the website, as we mentioned, you need to have a good internet connection. That's very important. Like fiber optic, I would say, is a must. You should have, if not, some people, but even then, brothers and sisters, we recall every year people who've logged in with no knowledge of this preparation. We have people who've logged in on their mobile with no problems. So ultimately, brothers and sisters, the reality is there's going to be over 200,000 people trying to book a number of sort of 50,000 spaces. So 3 to 4 times the amount of people will be trying to get in. Now, if they were all able to book at the same time, would there be enough packages left, if that makes sense to you? Because there's only a limited number of packages, right? So definitely not everyone will be able to book at the same time. There's some people just get in and no problem. And so in terms of patience, somebody said, okay, so that question that you said is about, you need to have a lot of patience. My answer to you is that, yes, of course, all of this is requiring patience from now all the way down to after Hajj, inshallah. This sacrifice of patience is required. Especially, we know, because of the booking process, we know that this is a working solution. Inshallah, they're working towards improving every year, mashallah. Compared to before, staying up all night. Last year, everything was sold within an hour and a half. So this year it might be quicker, it might be longer. There might be technical issues. Well, Allah knows best. But what I can say is, if you're going for a preloaded flight, and everyone just pay attention to me, what I'm saying here, this key point. If you're going for a preloaded flight, fine, but don't think that's That's it. If I get in, if I got my preloaded flight, that's it. I'm done. I've got my package. That isn't the case. What you need to do is also on that same package, which is preloaded flight, do some dry runs of custom flight search on that same package, because the package capacity is much larger than the flights that are preloaded. So in case, you don't have to go for another package. You can try the same package, but do a custom flight. It will say to you the answer to another question, two questions that someone has posed, and it was beneficial for everyone. There will be an answer sometimes about the package quota for Majr al-Kabsh being finished, completed. It will say quota not available, or the camp's space is unavailable, or the room capacity not available. Accordingly, it will tell you what the issue is. So if there is something that has finished or diminished, right, not available, that particular thing will be mentioned. If there's no group flights available, it won't allow you to select it. Okay, it might allow you for one person. We've had cases where a group of 5 people, they click select on the group flight, okay, and they get through another group of 5 or 4, let's just say, but there's only 2 seats left. If those 4 people try to book the 2 seats, it will fail. And then those who are 2 people who tried the same flight, they got that, or even it's a single person. So long as it's available. So this is all there's so many variables. Ultimately, we all prepare to the best of our ability, and we'll talk about that inshallah in upcoming webinars. And inshallah ta'ala, if it is written for you, and if you continue making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rabbuna yataqabbal min al-jami', Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it from all, and we do our due diligence. I would recommend, especially nearer to the time of booking. For now, what should you do? For now, you should be thinking about packages, thinking about, okay, my mind is set. This is my budget. These are my dates. I can work with those. Okay. Hotels, this one is good in Mecca, but actually Medina is not that great. But you know what? You don't have an option. Some people are asking for 8 days in Medina. SubhanAllah, I think today there was one that you mentioned. Is it 8 days in Medina, Muhtadi? Yeah.
Yes, 8 days. There's 2 programs, 8 days.
Nearly a month long, but nobody will stay a month long. But personally, if I'm going to Hajj, I'll stay a full month if I could, because it's once in a lifetime. I can take breaks, unpaid leave, whatever it is, but I'm maximizing and I'm getting it at a good price. But that's me. Even though how busy I am, still I'd say, you know what, I want to max my Hajj. But it depends. Everyone's different, and you have family you leave behind, and I understand all of these things. But I'm just saying that, ultimately, there's no one answer. However much someone preps you, there's no one answer, because on that day it could be a different whole scenario. But we do our best. If you sign in 30 minutes before, 15 minutes before, okay, you're on the home page. But then some people did it 30, 40 minutes before, and then they got kicked out of the site. So being too early isn't too great as well. So all of these things we'll discuss, inshallah ta'ala. So there are some questions about, for example, Mawasim Silver 20 and Mawasim Smart 02 are not directly with Hassan Travel Group. However, we will be still under their guidance during Hajj days. And yes, that is the case. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah. The issue is, look, ultimately, I want to make it clear to everyone, remember that there's an element from the service provider that they have to organize all these people and different denominations, different demographics, different languages, and they're trying to arrange it all in a way that will work seamlessly. But at the same time, they want to provide, because it's an online platform, you have to provide different, and this is a condition to serve on the nusuk, is to be able to provide flexibility to the pilgrims. But whilst doing that, sometimes what happens, people mix between packages, and they try their best to not to mix everyone together. But it may happen. But still, what we're trying to say is, the advice would be to go for the preferred ones. If it's not available, you go for the one that is parallel to our package, and then inform us or inform the service provider through us, and we will say to them that this person would like to perform Hajj with us, and thereby in Mina you'll be with us, inshallah ta'ala. So again, there is flexibility, but also maintaining that sort of request from the service providers. Ultimately, This is they're organizing for thousands of people. No. Yeah, there's quite a few questions. Muhtadi, if you want to read a few more. We're not going to be too long, and we're going to have extended Q&As from now on. We have the aim is to share today was to share those packages that we will be inshallah ta'ala guiding. Yeah, some of these are repeated, the questions. So alhamdulillah, Muhtadi answered that. Okay, somebody asked, just to repeat, just for, I know it's repetition for some others. I have configured a package with custom flights and put it into cart today. Will this be a single click on the purchase day since I've configured along with flights today, or will I have to start from scratch? You'll have to start from the beginning to configure the package with the custom flight. So you'll have to choose the flight again and search it again. So you try and look at all the different options, not the cheapest one only. Look at even higher cost ones and see what is the threshold that you want to be in regards to in regards to be able to secure that package, inshallah. Generally speaking, do popular packages sell out in minutes, hours, or days? And brothers and sisters, it will be a shock to you, maybe some of you, but with last year, within 1.5 hours, everything was sold in the first phase. By the way, we don't know about phases or anything like that. Ultimately, it's all one phase. If everyone around the world and in the country-specific, custom and group flights are booking, then everyone will book at the same time, unless something changes. But for now, this is the information we've been communicated to by all of the relevant authorities. So it will be very quick. Maybe because of the amount of people booking, it will take a couple of more hours, I would say. Say you configure a double package and then double is unavailable. Will it tell you that this it is the reason? Yes, it will just say unavailable. It means that it won't tell you a reason. That means it's finished. It's there's no availability anymore from the nusuk. Post nusuk, if that is possible on the day, you can keep in tabs with us. If that is a hotel that has that ability, or the capacity to do so, we can check. But it will be a very busy day. So certain hotels it's possible, and certain hotels it's not possible at all.
I just wanted to show a few people. Some people asking about the nearest coach stands to the Haram or the bus stations.
Yeah.
We have a couple around the Haram area. We have one which is here in Shaib Amir, which is just in the end of Marwa, where Gaza Safa Marwa is. It's about a 5-minute walk or 7-8 minute walk. This area here, used for Azizia a lot of the time. So there's like
once again, so where the Kaaba is, we show where the Kaaba is and
the
where
Kaaba is
Safa
here.
Marwa is.
There's Safa Marwa, and then this is like the all outside courtyard. So this is the gate. Marwa finish here. You can walk here, up there, and then just to the car park there. And they have like one-way system. People walk this way to come off the buses, and this way to walk to the station, and so on. So that's one there, and used a lot, for people from Azizia. You have another one here next to Shuhada Hotel. They call it Terminal 4, but it's in Ajad. They have, again, lots of buses that come. One of the more popular ones and the ones that we probably will be using for the Hajj one is the Kudai stand. If I just come down a bit. Oh, I missed it. There's it gone.
There it is. Oh,
yeah, it's just okay. So this is the Kudai. This is a massive coach station where, for example, you can get coaches from Azizia or Mina or other places
Anything, yeah.
from anywhere. There's a lot of coaches that come to Kuday, and from Kuday they have another short shuttle which goes underneath through the tunnel and into the clock tower, and you just walk up. So this is actually a very fast route because this particular tunnel is only for vehicles from Kuday, and it will take you
No traffic at all.
about 5 minutes to get to here.
5 minutes from there.
And then you can change from here to any other coach, to Mina, to Azia, or other places. And we will teach the pilgrims how to do that. And there'll be videos done by the team in terms of where to get on and off. And after a while, you kind of get used to it and you'll be quite okay with it. So that's some of them. And there is another one on this side as well. But we'll run through all of that post Hajj, inshallah. But it's just to help you understand that, look, from certain places, there's pickup points, drop-off points as well. And it makes it easier for everyone. And I just wanted to show maybe here. So you will have some coach stations dotted around. I'm just trying to find it. Where is it going? So you have, for example, here in Azia and a couple others dotted around here in Jamarat area. This whole area here is coach station. So, for example, when you finish your stoning, you can walk here to the massive row, like there's about 20 lanes of coaches non-stop. You get in and then we'll take you to the nearest point in Haram. It will save you walking an hour. So there's many options now that the ministry, mashallah, and the municipal office in Mecca, they're making available for people to make it easy and reduce the walking and thereby making it more accessible for people.
Barakallahu feekum. Inshallah ta'ala, we want to close very soon, a few more minutes, inshallah. If you have, look, brothers and sisters, in terms of choosing package, once you've got the tables, if you narrow it down and you want to ask about the tables, and if you need any help, just give us a ring, speak to any of the staff members. It will make it life much easier for you because we can specifically understand what your needs are and advise accordingly, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, because it all depends on what you need as well. There was some worry somebody had about, I saw it before, but this pretty much he's answered everything. But for the benefit of everyone, inshallah, if you are staying in a place in Azizia or in Zone C or whichever place in Mecca, and you arrive in Mecca, there is something called the Tawaful Qudum, or we could say Tawaf of arrival, or the Umrah Tawaf, because if you are performing Hajj, there are 3 types of Hajj, 2 of which apply to us, inshallah ta'ala, either Qiran or Tamattu. And all of these types of Hajj and how to perform Hajj is not for now, for later on, inshallah, post-booking, will guide you fully, inshallah. But in terms of generally, people, when they come to Mecca, they have to come to Masjid al-Haram and perform a Tawaf and a Sa'i, which is to go around the Kaaba 7 times and to go between Safa and Marwa 7 times. And this, if you're staying away from the Haram, how should you then get there? How are you going to get there is a worry. So that initial arrival Tawaf will be arranged and you'll go and perform the Tawaf and Sa'i. In previous years where there was a lot of custom flights, what would happen is there'll be certain times of the day when an imam would go and you'd go and perform Tawaf and Sa'i with that imam, say AM or PM, because an imam cannot go if people are arriving at different times of the day, consistently, like every hour. It's not possible, physically possible, and it's not even logistically possible. Another worry for some people who are talking about custom flights is that, for example, if you arrive in the airport, what's going to happen? Who's going to pick me up? What's going to happen? So we mentioned before, but we'll repeat again, and we'll repeat as many times as needed, inshallah. Of course, there are systems going to be made, and there will be communication post-booking to when you're arriving, what's your ticket, details, what time. Even afterwards, there may be even changes on your flight schedule, which you'll update with the service providers through us as guides. We will inform them, and then they will make the arrangements for someone to be at the airport to then collect you and bring you to your accommodation and meet up with a group or be in your accommodation, inshallah. So again, there's systems in place for that, but and that's something to not to worry about, inshallah ta'ala. Does this mean we'll be in the state of ihram from UK? So all of this will inform later, brother. The state of ihram. When do you make the intention if you perform Hajj? Yes, if you're going to Mecca first, you'd have to make intention before landing in Jeddah. So you'll be in the state of ihram before landing in Jeddah, inshallah. But you don't have to make the intention until the miqat, which is about 15 to 20 minutes before landing in Jeddah, inshallah. So we'll advise. I don't want to confuse everyone right now, but the whole of fiqh of how to perform Hajj correctly and based on your schedule, and we're going to have lessons after lessons and webinars slowly but surely, not all in one go. We'll build you up, and you'll know it better than us, inshallah. You'll correct us. You'll tell us, inshallah. And then we'll have also inshallah, we plan to have a proper, like an actual seminar where we see you all before the travel, inshallah ta'ala, to talk about those things, inshallah. Any other questions?
There is a brother raised his hand, FNA, if you can allow him.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I
Alhamdulillah.
have one question regarding the e-wallet
Yeah.
and regarding the amount, because I know that the package and flight. Regarding the e-wallet, do I need to deposit the amount? Like, for example, if it's around in total 50,000 riyal, should I deposit that 50,000 riyal before the 3rd of February?
Muhtari?
Yes, brother. Good question. I think we did cover this. Maybe you've joined a bit late, but it's very important that any brother and sister looking to go for Hajj, especially if you're verified. I know a few people still waiting to be verified, especially people on residence permits. Inshallah, over the next 72 hours or so, you'll see some movement. But once you're verified, you need to start topping up. You don't know if there's going to be any delays on your transfer or an issue with your card or anything. And there's only 10 days left at the moment, according to the 3rd of February. So you need to make sure that you're topped up and make sure the money is showing in your account, not 5 days of it being bouncing back to your account or some block or something. So top up with a little bit extra, make sure that you're primed and ready, you've configured, you practiced, and give yourself the best chance to book. Don't be waiting. We had a brother last year. Unfortunately, he kept us saying, I'll do it or I'll get my son to do it. On the day, he logged in and he realized his son didn't top up for him and he couldn't book and he missed the Hajj. You don't want to be in that position. You want to make sure that you get your package, and to be able to even buy it, you have to have topped up your wallet. And one thing that we noticed a couple of years ago, after a certain time, they stopped the topping up when sales happened. So you want to top up before then. We don't know what the ministry will do this year, but we have to cover all instances. One of the questions about will packages be grayed out or sold out completely? It is likely that packages will still show available and let you click, but it will say Mina camp is full, or Mina camp capacity is not there. That means the visas are finished for the country. So you may be able to still see the package, but the visas are finished. There's going to be no more sales unless someone cancels or the system throws back 1 or 2 visas because of errors. So you might be in an instance where you can see the package and you're thinking it's going to let me book, but actually the space is 7,000 or whatever it is finished. Or it may be a case that package had 100 capacity, it's sold out, it will be grayed out, it will say unavailable, it will be like grayed out, will say unavailable, and the green button to configure will not be there. So seeing the green button means it's available, but doesn't guarantee it's going to be available, because if the visas finish, then no more bookings. But you keep trying. And we saw,
Abdul Qayyum just mentioned e-wallet on Nusuk is down at the moment. Yeah. So this can happen. Sometimes they're making updates. We all have to be so just stop sending. If it doesn't go through when you've done it twice, just stop and wait and try again later.
Possibly try a different card or account as well. Sometimes that
sometimes it's different card, yeah, it could be blocked. How quickly can someone be verified? Some people are joining very late and but still they can get through, you don't know.
Someone got same day the other day, right? They just did it first time.
I mean, many of you may be still not verified.
Nusuk is working rapidly now, mashallah. Yeah. Like just 1 hour ago, one of the brother who was trying to do, and we helped him, told him to update his photo, After he did that, within 10 minutes, he got verified. So they're working.
Many people are getting verified now. And there are some people I've been speaking to as
anyone
well.
is not verified yet, please make sure your photo. 99% of the problem that we're seeing is actually the photos. So please make sure that you're, if you have a problem, make sure you fix your photos in your passport scan copy, probably a proper scan copy, and that should be okay, inshallah.
Brothers and sisters, so ultimately the aim is to secure your Hajj this year. That's your top priority, and put that as your top priority, and think about price and dates, of course, and your guides, and tawakkalna ala Allah, and put your trust in Allah. But remember, in terms of visas and things like that, so once you've booked, some people have this thing where I've booked and now I'm not going still until the visa comes in their hand. And this is yearly. I get people still shaky and not sure if they're going to go. Visa will be most likely 99.99%. You will get your visa. If you have secured your booking, you get your visa. They will ensure that your visa comes through, unless, of course, you're, God forbid, you're from some blacklist from countries and things like that. That's something different. That's why they ask about these security questions on the verification. Have you been barred from any countries, etc.? Then those people may be at risk. But otherwise, we've never seen anyone not receive a visa post booking. Okay, so they will ensure. Okay, this is an important thing to mention. On Sira's PDF for Mawasim Value 20, it says the hotel is actually Park House Hotel. Park Elite is Park House license, slightly different, meaning the name that is, like you will find even with Voco, it's a different name, Mad International or something on the actual site sometimes. It's different hotels, sometimes when they're uploaded, because there are contracts made between the service providers and the hotels, and then they're submitted to the Ministry of Hajj and Nusuk platform. That validation doesn't happen, and it has to go by the contract name. So that's why sometimes it might show, but the pictures will show Voco and everything, but it will show a different name sometimes. So do check with us if you're unsure. That's good. But yeah, Park Ali is Park House, inshallah. Anything else? MashaAllah, answered as always. Today we had Ghazi answering. May Allah bless him as well. And there's a lot of people in the background that are working very hard and prepping for this year's Hajj, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all of their efforts. That Allah grants them ease, those people working in the background from all the different stakeholders, from the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah to Nusuk, the team, to everyone involved to put this all together. It's something that is not easy. And as you can see, but it is the whole point is to streamline and make it easier for, in the long run, for more people to join, from those respective countries, other countries. This year we have South Africa joining Nusuk. So we have people from South Africa now joining on the Nusuk program, direct Hajj program. And the whole point is to directly liaise with the service providers and Saudi Arabia, inshallah ta'ala. So really, may Allah make it easy and accept all of our efforts. Any questions you have, again, let's stop for today. And next session, we will continue in general on the groups we're answering. Can I just request as well to brothers and sisters that you join the Telegram groups if you haven't? I know some people haven't joined all the Telegram groups. I know it's really overwhelming. I really appreciate that. Imagine for myself, I'm getting messages and the staff are getting messages every minute, every second of the day. But alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us strength and we're able to continue to answer where possible. And there are other brothers I want to mention that are helping and being proactive on the groups who are answering. May Allah bless them, may Allah increase them, and may Allah accept it from them. So I would like to just quickly share before we go, just as to end, inshallah ta'ala. Oops, sorry. So we were on this slide. I just wanted to say, for those who do not know about Majal al-Kabsh and Mu'isim, do check on their website, on Nusuk. Generally, it's the same. You get you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner in both, except for the night of Muzdalifah. This is known in Hajj. Okay, So that's everyone. You'll get a snack box that's sufficient. You're outside, hot food is not available. One night's no issue. You'll have too many things to carry. And then you have refrigerators full of cold water, drinks, ice cream throughout the tents. This is all luxury right now. Tea and coffee 24/7, air-conditioned plasterboard tents. And this is across Maisim and Majar and Kabsh. To finish off, I just wanted to say, don't worry about all of this information. We'll share that accordingly. This is the page I would like you to, so those of you who want to join as well, Abdul Latif Jameel, the Telegram is here, okay, and the WhatsApp is here. WhatsApp is just mainly for broadcast, so you can use your phone right now and just join them, inshallah. Of course, the service providers and are generally will be providing information, and later on it will get busier. It's not as busy because and what I want to mention is when you ask a question about Abdul Latif, for example, it should be in the Abdul Latif group or in the main group of Hassan Travel Guidance. But in the same way, if you're in Sira group, try to ask about Sira related packages respectfully, because obviously there are admin and staff and senior sort of admin from those service providers in that group. So it would be disrespectful to speak about the other service providers within that. But as a general, you can always ask in that group and also questions related to that service provider. But if you want to also continue in the community and onto the registration verification of Hassan Travel Guidance, we're also answering there. And I want to thank you for your patience. I'm going to share the next slide, which is for Sira Group Holding if you haven't joined. Remember, from the respective Hajj service providers, they will be also organizing webinars. And what we're trying to do from our side is not ensure that there's not too much repetition in the webinars. So there'll be something new in every single one. So do attend those, inshallah ta'ala. That's really important. And this is for Holiday in Bakka, for those who do not have that. Okay, maybe just take a picture. And finally, well, the links are shared. The links are shared on the group, so don't worry. And the announcements. If you're ever looking for anything important, look in the announcements of the Hassan Travel Guidance. What do we do now? Finally, get verified. If you're not verified, reach out to us again. We are seeing it speeding up, and what you should do very simply is change or re-upload if you think the photo is okay, or if you think your document. I know some brothers and sisters with proof of residency has been a serious issue this time round. But remember, there's a different, it's not Nusuk actually checking it, it's the passports and another agency, which is a governmental agency, so they have to verify, and they might be slower, and there's nothing they can do about that. So what you do is repost that, re-upload it, edit, re-upload, as we've been mentioning. Straight away, you raise a ticket on Nusuk, you go to Nusuk's support page, and then fill in the form, okay, with your email address that your account email address, and then send. And when you get a support ticket ID, call them straight away. So do that all in one go, without gaps. And inshallah ta'ala, we're seeing people being verified. Okay. Keep making dua, of course. Ultimately, dua is everything. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should be viewing packages we're supporting, and configure the package into your cart. Don't wait until 3rd February. Somebody was saying to top up on 3rd February. No, you have to top up now, and from now on, the next few days, when it's available, check on the group if it's available to top up the e-wallet, and then top it up accordingly with a buffer amount. Have a backup package, at least 4 in your preferred category, okay? And if you have questions about those, again, reach out to us. Top up e-wallet with sufficient funds, and I've said that already, and be ready for the 3rd. And inshallah, before that, we'll hold Q&As regularly now. Okay, so next session we're planning for is Sunday, but we'll confirm, inshallah, purely Q&A session. Okay, and alternatively, you can call our support team in the next few days. There are still people who have joined new. If you have joined new, you can always go refer to our YouTube channel and find out who we are and more details about us. And Go back slowly. I know it's overwhelming for some of you. I appreciate that. It's a lot of information, but you need to get used to the site once you're verified, and you'll get the hang of it. So not only watching the webinars, then going to that table and saying, okay, this is where Brother Mishka and his team are going to be guiding. So inshallah, I'd like to go for this package. This suits my dates. So narrow it down. First, go by your date, because ultimately you have certain amount of leave you can take. Some people might not have. You can go for anything that suits you. So go by your priority, as we discussed today. There's a sheet or a slide there about priorities and compromise. So think what's your highest priority and go accordingly, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. Jazakumullah khairan. Any other things to add from the team? Okay, so I'll let you all go through, inshallah. We'll let you have a look at the tables and then reach out to us, inshallah. For Jazakumullah khairan. Anything else? No, Muhtadi? Ghazi?
Barakallah fi Sheikh Mishkat. Allah yadikum al-afiyah. We encourage everyone to start topping up their e-wallet and be prepared, inshallah, from 1st to 3rd of February, anytime if the booking comes live. Most probably 3rd of February. Most probably 3rd of February, but they should be prepared from one day earlier. And if they need to top up still, they need to do it immediately, as sometimes it takes time, especially if anyone want to do bank transfer. Make sure you check if you still have time to do bank transfer or not.
Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you once again to all of you for staying with us and being patient. But all of this is, when you repeat once or twice, it starts sticking, because some stuff sticks and some stuff doesn't. Some things don't stay in your head. But for others, it might be very boring and they know all of the information. Okay. But for those who have tried to book last year, every year is different. Don't fully follow the same rules as the year before preparation. Be ready for changes, and there's changes every year. We can see small changes. So be aware of that. For Jazakumullahu khairan, may Allah reward you all, may Allah bless you all, may Allah accept all of our efforts and grant us success, inshallah, the successful Mabrur Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. فجزاكم الله خيرا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.